Oh, I'll be starting in just a couple of minutes. Just so you guys know that all of you guys that are here, you guys can be with your cameras on. Doesn't bother me. I am going to be putting this. If you don't want to be on social media, put your face off if you want. It will be broadcasting onto social media at the same time. Some people couldn't make the Zoom, but they wanted it on social media. My IT person figured out a way for me to do both. So if you don't want to be broadcasted on my platform, turn your cameras off, is my point.
I'm not shy.
A lot of people on my calls aren't, but I do want to give the respect of letting everybody know that you do have the option. And I appreciate every single one of you for being here to support me, because this has been a journey. Been a journey. All right, it is on top of the hour, so I'm just going to go ahead and do what I normally do and start on time and make sure that I have the right.
God bless you.
Oh, thank you. One more.
Bless you again.
Thank you. I couldn't even get to mute. Ooh, apologize for that. Streaming page required. Hold on. Sorry, guys. My husband has to come real quick. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. Always when you don't want it to not go, right? I swear to God, like every time this happens to me, right when I come up, I did this. I'm going to tell you guys a story real quick. So I did this big lunch and learn with this really big company. And honestly, they're known to do presentations, should I say? Like it really comes in. And of course, I'm sitting there, everything went up. As soon as I went live, wrong slide deck. And now here we are again. But that's okay. That's okay. It is what it is. We're all on here as long as it comes up. We're here on this one. So that's how it's going to be. I don't even know if I'm recording. I don't even know anymore where it's getting recorded, but that's okay at this point. But it just shows like how technology can fail us, and it purposely is probably doing this to me to mess with my mind. And I'm okay with that too. So thank you guys for being here. First of all, I wanted to appreciate every single one of you for taking the time out to hear my talk. My name is Bina Bendale. For a lot of you that may or may not know me, I am a mother of 3 beautiful children. All 3 of my children do have some special conditions, special disabilities, and that is what really inspired my talk. So back in January, when I was applying for TEDx's and I was doing certain things, my initial talk was Real Life with Special Kids, the parent version. And I've been doing this particular talk for about this entire year. And about, what month are we in? November? So around September, I actually wanted to give up my TEDx. I actually energetically was like, I don't want to do this talk. I'm scared. I don't want this to happen. I don't know what it was. I did not want to do this particular talk. And one day, just, I kid you not, a month ago, I spoke to my TEDx coach, spoke to my personal speaking coach, and I was like, pull me out of the rings. Let's start for next year. I don't know. There's just something energetically telling me that this particular talk is not the one I'm supposed to be doing on this stage. And that weekend, my TEDx coach and my personal coach was like, Bina, just sleep on it. You're probably overthinking. Maybe there's stress. Maybe there's all these different things, emotions that are coming up. So I did. First time in a very long time, I straight up turned my cell phone off. Not even on Do Not Disturb. It was like powered off upstairs on my 3rd floor where I'm presenting right now. And my husband was very shocked too. He says, you turn it off. I'm like, well, someone's going to die. They're going to call you. Let's be real. If something's going to really happen, my main concerns first, obviously, is my mom, my family, my people, right? But my children and my husband are present with me. And if somebody can't get a hold of me, somebody's going to get a hold of me. You know what I mean? Somebody will knock on my door. People comes up, and the people in my true inner circle all have my husband's phone number. So I turned my phone off. And did you guys not? I was mortified. I was like in a hermit. I didn't want to do anything. I kept coming in. And then I had this really urge of tendency for something happened to me and my son a week prior, and we went bowling, and he had a pee. And it was a big, long, drawn-out drama behind it. And he's the one that I'm going to be talking about in my talk. And he didn't want to use the restroom. And I had to go to the car. He didn't want to go to the car. He wanted me to drive all the way home. So 45 minutes later, we're in the bowling alley. 45 minutes later, I take him home to come back to finish bowling. And I'm tired. I'm exhausted. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then the weekend I turned my cell phone off, that's when it came to me. I was like, that is what I need to talk about. I journaled Friday night. I meditated, whatever you guys whatever you guys want to state, how that ever states or resonates with you. I was going back and forth. I had multiple conversations with my husband. I'm like, what about if I talk about, and this is going to sound completely off the charts here. I was like, what if I talk about bathrooms? And he's bathrooms. He goes, Bina, what are you talking about? Bathrooms. And I was like, yeah, bathrooms. And he's, Bina, I don't understand. I was like, I don't know how to explain this to you, but we're talking about bathrooms. And he goes, okay. He goes, okay. Saturday night, I went to sleep, woke up at 3:33, and I knew exactly what my talk was about. Exactly. Whole download, the whole speech, the whole everything. I can picture myself. I knew exactly what I was wearing. I knew the jewelry. I knew how I was going to emphasize this. I knew everything. And comes up. I felt the emotions. I felt the highs, the lows, the cries, the vomits, everything you can think of, everything in between. I felt it. And I woke up, and then I couldn't wake up the next morning because I was up. Then in the morning, I woke up, and my husband's, okay, do you want to wake up? And I'm like, nope, didn't want to wake up. I don't know what it was. I came downstairs, and my children have swimming at 10. Like, we have to leave 9:30 Pacific Standard Time to go swimming for a 10 o'clock class. And at 9 o'clock, I had the urge to write out my entire speech from top to bottom. And my husband's, right now? And I'm like, yeah, right now. I got to do it. It's in my head. I have to do it. It's there. I got to write this out. I kid you guys not. 30 minutes and 33 seconds, I wrote my entire speech. In 30 minutes and 33 seconds. I wrote the whole thing out. And my husband's never seen it. No one's, my TEDx coach, if he's on this call, guess what? He has not seen it until today either. Because I switched it all up. Everything I worked on from January, February, up until now, no one's seen it until today. So my husband's, we get to swimming, and I tell my husband, I was like, do you want to read? He's like, can I read it? And I was like, yes, please. Can you read my speech? And he wrote it. And I swear to God, my husband doesn't say, he's a man of less words, should I say? He's the quiet one in my house. He was like, this is your speech. This is impactful. This is what will save people, like our lives, that comes up. Can you turn the air on? It's hot. And so that's what we're going to be presenting today. So that is the story behind my TEDx talk. And for you guys who have seen or heard, or getting a TEDx talk is very tedious. And I'm flying to Delaware. I am taking time away from my kids. I took time away from my business, everything, because I didn't realize how much energy this was going to take, guys. And to flip this whole, like my whole speech in 3 weeks before my TEDx talk. Yeah. So this is that. And now this is my first time publicly. I've practiced my other speeches on stages before, guys. That's the thing. I've done my other Real Life with Special Kids, the parent version. I've been on talk shows. I've been on docuseries. I was like, I had that speech down. And here, I'm like, you guys will still see me. I'm glued to cards still, okay? You guys are gonna see me. Like, I'm still glued to cards because I'm like, oh, am I gonna say this right? For everyone that's watching to know that when it's in true alignment for you, when things are like, I'm not sure, should I change it up? And I kid you not, if Jamin Patel, who is my speaking coach right now, if he were to hear this, and I spoke to him last week or 2 weeks ago, kid you not, he says, I do not advise you to change your speech right now. Flat out. He was like, don't change it. I'm nervous, but comes in, whatever it was. I did my speech, and he goes, you just made me a believer. So I was really excited. I was like, yay! And then he's, don't do this again. I'm like, how am I supposed to do this again? It's a week. Like, I go live in a week. Not happening. So I'm going to tell you guys my speech now. So just give me a minute. I have to go. I'm going to put this up, and then you guys are gonna laugh at the top. Like, you guys are, and please laugh things. Like, I really, if you guys are unmuted, please unmute. I like to hear it. It gives me energy, actually. Honestly. Because I like to hear chuckles. And the more interactive we are, the more I feel. So don't feel like you're interrupting me unless you're actually interrupting me. Is that, yeah. So as everyone else does, I don't know what your guys' pre-routine is before a talk. I try not to vomit. I really try not to vomit. A lot of people ask me, they go, Bina, do you have a pre-ritual routine? And the answer is yes. I did it prior to this actual call. But in general, just like everybody else, I like to vomit. I get the jitters. I have them now. I'm going to try my best to just go through this. Can you time me, Cindy? No, sorry, I'm just doing a little background to make sure that my talk is within 14 something minutes. Whew. Okay.
You got it.
Thank you.
Let's go.
All right. Are you ready? I don't think he's ready. Now I'm waiting for my husband. Now I'm ready. Now I'm waiting for my husband. I'm telling you guys, technical difficulties. And this is the best part, is that I know this is going to happen on TEDx too. I know all these little hiccups, and it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. I'm going to be ready for them. Yeah. I'm ready to go when you are. Okay. Timer? Okay. All right. Here we go. I have to pee. I have to pee. Not literally right now in this moment, because that would be a huge problem and complete poor planning on my part. But we all can agree when you hear the phrase, I have to agree, you associate it with a bathroom or a toilet. We all can agree that when you hear the words, I have to pee, it's either something you say to yourself or you say out loud. We all can agree that when an adult or a child does the potty dance, and we've all seen it, we all do, or the kids are doing something like this, right? We all agree it's a universal sign. We've all seen it, and we all have been there before. And lastly, we all have agreed that a bathroom is an essential part to our daily routine. Now that I've established that somebody needs to pee, probably somebody here listening to me now since I'm talking about it, let's really talk about what happens when you're looking for a bathroom. So for a normal, typical person, when you have to use the restroom, you're going to go look for the bathroom, correct? And then you enter the bathroom. And for some of us, we might judge the bathroom. And if it's not in our standards, then we probably go look for something else. And especially ladies, we start looking or choosing a door. Men, I have no idea what happens in your bathroom and I'll never step foot into it. Okay. That's not happening. Back to us ladies. When we go into a bathroom, it's like we start choosing the door. It's one stall at a time, one stall at a time. I swear we're not only judging the cleanliness, but for majority of us, I think we're promising thinking it's going to get bigger and bigger. And guess what? They're all just small. But that's another TEDx talk here today. Okay. So bring us back to the bathroom. As we're going through the doors, it's just like playing the Price is Right game. What's behind door number 1? What's behind door number 2? What's behind door number 3? And guess what, ladies? We all win the same thing. Okay. We win a toilet. If we're lucky, toilet paper. Sometimes toilet seat covers, and of course, a door for privacy. But what if I told you today, my TEDx talk here tonight is about creating a new idea, a new conversation about sensory-supported bathrooms and something much, much bigger for those adults and children who are sensitive to noise and need special accommodation. I know you guys are probably wondering, that came out of left field. Well, what is this lady even talking about? Sensory-supported bathrooms? Okay. A normal, typical human, just as we discussed, when they hear, I have to pee, they find a bathroom, they go to their business, they do their business, and then it's just like business as usual, as if nothing's ever occurred. But now I want you to imagine a child or an adult with disabilities when they say, I have to pee. When a child with a disability, I'm referring to a broad group of people with special accommodations, diabetes, cancer, ADHD, autism, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, a whole much more, right? There's a lot more challenges and silent struggles that come with this. And remember, that number is rising rapidly as we speak. Today, I'm going to be telling you guys a personal story. You see, and just for you guys to understand and see like what life is like in my world. Today, I'm a mother of not only one, not only two, I am a mother of 3 amazing children that all have special needs special needs. My house is really full, guys, and it's fully chaotic, filled with so much love and joy. But man, it's a lot of work. I'm going to be talking about my son, Rohan, who is severely autistic. And remember, when you meet one autistic child, you're only meeting one autistic child. They all have their own uniqueness and their own difficulties. If an adult and or child can express, if they can express, they have to pee. Because remember, some of these children are nonverbal and some of them use a communication device. So if they say, I have to pee, you're not going to hear a parent, especially me, going, woohoo, let's go to the bathroom. It's more likely going to be like, are you kidding me? Right now? Like, we just got here. I just put everything away. It might be a little bit of a different experience than what you guys are normally used to. A lot of the times, moms like me, we have to take a lot of deep breaths. In, 1, 2, 3, and out, 1, 2, and 3. Then we have to gather all of our material. And this is just some of them. I'm sure I'm missing some stuff on the slide. Then we go to the nearest bathroom, just like everybody else. And then we pray that there's no line, because a lot of these kids don't have the attention span to stand in a line. Some of these adults can't even stand in these lines. And so it's in that world, these parents are already just thinking, can we just get this over with? Please, let's just be done with this. And these children first pass what I call a tornado. And a lot of you are probably wondering, what is this lady talking about? Where is she going with a tornado? See, it's all about sensory processing. A tornado in a child's words or children with autism, we're talking about the hand dryer. The hand dryer is something loud and really noisy that starts triggering them before they even get into the bathroom. Then we start passing what we call a hurricane. The hurricanes are the water faucets turning on and off at random times. Then we pass what we call volcanoes. Okay. Volcanoes are the toilets flushing. At all random times, you're not sure when they're going to go off, and they sound like big comes in. And as we're walking with these children or child down the long hallway, because there's always one handicapped bathroom all the way at the very end, not sure why it's there, but we're now majority of the time we're waiting again. And think of it as like a triple storm or a sensory storm. Hearing volcanoes going off, hearing hurricanes go off, hearing tornadoes go off. This is people coming in and out, and this is not even including the scent of smell. Everyone always forgets about the scent of smell, yet this is the biggest trigger, even for adults in normal, typical world, right? So we're talking about things that come out of our mouth, things that we pass through our bottoms, everything in between, along with the lovely scent of cologne or perfume that people place before they even leave the bathroom. And this is all before the child even gets into the bathroom stall. So remember that. We're not even in the bathroom stall yet. Now, finally, we're in the bathroom stall. Now, guess what? It's a battle. Does the child want to pee? Did he pee his pants? We're trying to rush it. We're taking all of our equipment out, putting our slides down, putting things out, trying to get this kid's pants off, to get him on the toilet, to put him back, to put him into the wheelchair, to take him back to the store. And here we are trying really hard to stay calm for our child who is living in this triple storm. And so here we are walking in with a triggered child. I'm walking out with a triggered child and a really exhausted parent. And now for us, it's not business as usual. I'm trying to regroup. I'm trying to self-regulate. I'm trying to self-regulate my child at the same time. Many parents don't talk about this because it's just too much effort. Sometimes we feel like it's not even worth it because people are not going to understand because they're not walking in our shoes. So that's why I'm here today, to stand here to be that voice. I'm here today for parents like me to hear their voice and to let them know that it does matter. For parents like me, we generally go to the car just because we know about the meltdowns. We know about the triggers. And honestly, there are days where we just pack up and go home. You know why? Because it's easier. Some of you might be asking, what about noise canceling headphones? A lot of these kids or adults don't like things around their face, along their ears. And guess what? They start throwing it off. And then it goes to places that honestly, I don't want to put my hands into. Look. And we just don't want to touch it after that. And you're spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on things that they're just going to throw away. This is why I want you to realize that these silent struggles are real. And this is what happens to me every single time I take my son to the bathroom. Moms like me, generally, it's real. They generally go in the ladies' bathroom more because in general, they're cleaner. Men's, I don't know what you guys do in there, but they're dirty. So we're not even going to go there. And imagine this. I do this alone. It'd be really weird if my 6'2", extremely handsome husband comes with me to the ladies' bathroom to walk down this line to go at the very end of the handicapped bathroom. He's 6'2". People are going to think he's a peeping Tom. It's weird. And so it's super stressful as a parent, and it's super stressful for the kids. So a lot of the time, I just go home. Why? Because it's familiar. I have support. The kids know what they're doing. It's in routine. I don't have to carry all those supplies in and out and then sanitize it every single time. And imagine, this is just with one of my children. Can you imagine I have to take all three? How that would feel? And I got to do this all by myself? Did you know that autism is on the rise? Here in the United States, 1 out of 36 children will be diagnosed. 1 out of 36. That's a classroom. According to the CDC, already 1% of the population has been diagnosed with autism. And when you add ADHD, diabetes, cancer, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, that number goes really high, representing a large percentage of the population. So my argument for you today is if you're in construction, if you're in design, if you're building a new facility, let's develop a structure for that 1%, if not rising 1% of the population. Let's include sensory supported bathrooms, just like some of them that are visually up here. Lights that are dim. There's no loud toilets, an adult-sized changing table, a stool, and other necessary accommodation. I'm talking about a national and a global change for this 1% of the population that is often overlooked. In the early 2000s, we saw a nationwide change in gender-neutral bathrooms. Men and women's bathrooms in becoming gender-neutral in places like the airport, schools, movie theaters, which is amazing. Inclusion for all, right? And this movement's only 14 years old and making bold moves across the nation. And what I'm trying to create today is a new movement for that 1% of those population who has these silent struggles. And that number is rising quickly. This movement of sensory supported bathrooms being installed will allow that 1% of the population to be supported so that we can also return to our activities and enjoy the rest of the day and not pack up and go home. A lot of people say, you guys have family bathrooms, but do we really? And if we do, they're extremely hard to find. And it's usually like one in one airport. And it's probably on the other side. And these kids nowadays spend 70% of their days in schools. And no schools across the nation has sensory supported bathrooms for this particular population. I understand that you may be in a different headspace right now, trying to figure out what all this means, and that's okay. Trying to figure out, like, how does this fit in? And I'm not here to complain. I'm not here asking for sympathy. I am here because as society, we have the capacity to change. We have the capacity to do more. I know I'm bringing a vision for you today that will not be easy. I know that it's not going to be cheap. And what I'm saying is that there is a possibility. It's a possibility. So I leave you with two things. The next time you go to the restroom and you have to sit there and you tell yourself, I have to pee, listen for those volcanoes, listen for the tornadoes, listen to the hurricanes, observe what is going on in those restrooms and seeing those silent struggles for these parents. Second, when you hear those words, I have to pee, it's more than just a simple bodily function. It means dignity. It means respect. It means accessibility and understanding. It means to be an advocate for that percentage of population that is often overlooked. It's more than just finding a bathroom. It's about real life with special kids. It's about the community that has these silent struggles. It's about letting them know that they're not alone and their voice does matter. This is difficult for many people to talk about. And that is why I'm here to be a voice and to be an advocate for those silent struggles. For families like mine, it's a journey. Thank you.
Amazing job, Bina.
Hi,
Yeah.
Annie.
You
Much
did
obliged.
amazing.
That was amazing.
Nice job. Nice job.
Thank you. How many minutes was that? Dang it. It's 15 minutes. That's okay. That's all right. It'll work. Okay, my speech is 15 minutes now. Whoopsies. Gotta cut it down. Well, thank you guys. And if you guys, this is what emerged from me in that moment that night. This is what came from me, and this is what was the calling that I have. And to know that like, how many of you guys honestly have seen parents? Yeah, go ahead.
I am a parent like that. My son has autism, and it's very difficult to get him to go to the bathroom. And it's a struggle with him. And I feel the pain. I feel it. And I'm just like you. I don't have just one. I have total of 6 kids, and actually they all 6 have a disability. And I've been raising them by myself, and it's very exhausting. So I feel the pain, and it's amazing. I love that. And that is one of the struggles, is going to the bathroom.
It is.
So yes, I feel that.
First of
And
all,
like you said, I think
hats
there
off
are
to you.
so many. Oh,
1 second. Hats off to you. And I hear you. I see you. And we should connect more.
Yes, we do. It's
what?
it's a battle.
Yeah.
My son, he actually got kicked out of a behavioral center, and we're trying to find another one to connect with.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yes,
let's talk
I
more
feel it.
offline, because I hear you on that. Sorry, who was talking earlier?
this is Sarah. I was just going to say, I recently had a client and I had to refer her to somebody else because she has an autistic son. And I felt
Okay.
she needed somebody on a more relatable level because of these struggles. So I think hearing more and more about this and the different things can help us, not only as other parents, as other mothers, be aware of this when other people are going to the bathroom, but as nurse coaches too, to fully serve our clients when they're having these needs and struggles.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing this.
You're welcome. And this is something I'm telling you guys that no one talks about. Like, we don't talk about it. Cecilia and I can probably agree that it's easier to go home. We don't go out. I go out, but I go out to places that are very controlled, very comes in. And imagine if you go and you pay a shit ton of money somewhere and then all of a sudden you pack up literally 10 minutes after you get there. And it's hard. And a lot of the times you don't see a lot of people in wheelchairs or a lot of people in disabilities in bathrooms. How many of you guys honestly have seen that? Men or women?
Really?
Not very
Not that
often.
many.
Because it's not accommodating. Imagine if you have to go and you have to self-cath yourself or comes in, and again, it's like the Price is Right door, right? We all want the big bathrooms. I get it. I've done it. I've been there. I don't know why. There's like the small little thing. You come up and you're like this, and then you're like coming up, and especially the ladies, and you're closing the door and you're like, whoop, and you don't want to touch anything.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like you want more for less, but yet less is sometimes more. And yet you don't see the people who actually really need it. I'm a big advocate with the disability world. And the number one thing they have a huge problem with is going to the restroom. And this is not even talking about handicap placards. I'm not even talking about sidewalks. I'm not even talking about anything else. I am talking about just a normal thing that everybody else takes, and it kid me wrong, and I'm being a little passionate here. Everyone else takes for granted. They go to the bathroom and then they wash their hands, literally wash their hands, and they walk out. Business as usual. But for me, and probably also for Celia, do you mind if I don't speak for you for now, but 30 minutes. 30 minutes. And my husband can't come with me. So guess what? I'm doing that all by myself. So we've gotten creative when the car comes out, but my younger two, they're sensory overloaded. They have ADHD. My youngest has autism as well, but it's like pulling them away from candy. Now I got 3 triggered children to go back to the car, or me or my husband has to split because it's not fair for the younger two. And no one talks about it. People dismiss it. People are like, that's not my problem.
Yeah.
If it's out of sight, out of mind. I'm not saying I'm not trying to sit here. Again, I'm not asking for sympathy. I don't think majority of us who are in that world are asking for any sympathy. All we ask for is a voice. All we ask for is empathy. All we're asking for is understanding. At least awareness. Maybe I should put that in my speech.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know how wonderful that
Yes.
was, to be honest? I wasn't
Yes.
even aware of that until
Yeah.
you just said something, and now I'm like thinking really deeply about it, how they should, with all the other people that they cater to out there in the world. Why not? Let's make a change.
This is a brand new, so I have researched a lot. After I wrote my speech, I went down the rabbit hole of, is there another talk like this out there? Is there something else? There's talks around bathrooms. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of talks around bathrooms and different things and all these other stuff, but there is no talk out there around sensory supported bathrooms. There's not even, this is like brand new language. And if it is out there, I want anyone to please, if there is a talk out there, please connect me with them. Connect me, because I want to go, because I'm now seeing a bigger vision with this. I'm seeing this go to legislations. I'm seeing this going towards, I don't know about the White House at the moment, but hold on. But I'm just seeing a movement that as long as majority of the parents, especially with the parents of children with disabilities or adults that are loved ones that have a forever child is what we call them, right? We call them forever children because they're not going to grow up and go 18 and go to school and comes up. These are our children that are going to be with us probably for a very long period of time. And imagine that my son right now is 10, this big, this tall, and about 75 pounds. Can you imagine when he is 6'2", as tall as my husband and weighs 200 pounds? And I got to take that kid into the bathroom? That's my point.
My husband helps with construction and different projects. And I tell you what, I'm definitely going to tell him about this. So if he ever comes across another project, to definitely be aware of this. And if he's not even overseeing that portion of it, to be a voice too, to other people who are building or remodeling restaurants or things like that. I just very excited for you, very excited for a lot of people who are going to get this voice through you. So thank you.
I have one ask for every single person. And my one ask is once this TEDx gets released, please share it. Please share it.
Oh yes, I will be.
Help me
Absolutely.
make this go viral because woo,
Yes, it's a heart. Yes, yes. And we really have to connect because
Yeah.
I've been working on this business project that I've been wanting to put in the making, and that is something that needs to be put into my business too, that I'm planning on.
Yeah.
Because it's for what my business is for teenagers, be
Yeah.
helping them and stuff. So I want that to be part of it too, is kids like ours.
And it's awareness.
Mhm.
You know, I get to tell you guys, it's not cheap. I've looked.
No, it's not.
They're not cheap. An adult size changing table, they're not cheap.
Oh, no.
Guess what? Nothing in my house is cheap.
Yeah.
Nothing in my house is cheap. Everything is disposable, but not cheap, if that makes sense. I don't care about TVs. I don't care about that. But all the equipment and other developmental stuff we have in our house is not cheap. So thank you. Thank you guys. And that's my only ask, is for every single person to share this once it gets out, to help me make this go viral so we could at least build awareness. And it's a movement. It takes one company, one school, one airport for that change to occur.
Mhm.
And once that one change occurs, it's just like the gender neutral bathrooms, which is amazing. But all it takes is one place to start a movement for that to go and be a standard, not only here, but everywhere.
I have a question.
Sure.
Is there a way, or do you have maybe like a few suggestions so that when people see this and they're like moved by your message and haven't really thought about it, are there even just smaller things that someone can do, lighting changes or the fragrances, or if there are some things that are smaller changes that can be made that start to make a difference, even
Yeah.
if they are in the big way, or like a link to maybe an evolving website that helps people to understand what they could do with what they already have.
Yeah.
Because I think it makes me think, oh gosh, where are the ways I could make changes? But I don't really understand
Yeah.
what would be as impactful or what might not be, or what might be those simple
The
shifts.
simplest ones, honestly, is the toilets, the silencing on the toilets. That's easy. That's an easy fix, but anyone can do. The automatic toilet, there's automatic toilet flushers that's out there, but you can have it there. You know, you can go in and install it. We have them in our houses right now where you can put a silencer on it. So it's not like that, you know,
Yeah,
it will
loud.
still be soft, but it's softer, right? And then the lighting is also a very easy one to do. A lot of children with disabilities, a lot of it with ADHD, and a lot of it with autism, they
Mhm.
actually don't like white. White is very difficult for them to comprehend. White is actually it's very difficult for them. So I can't go to the snow because the snow is all white. Like, they don't understand. It's really hard for them to process that. And it's just the changing of the colors of the lighting from that fragrant yellow, whatever it is up there that they have it, to just like a softer yellow or a softer blue or a softer colors. Those really do help. I know a lot of people are a big fan of these hand dryers right now, but that's a whole nother topic. But the hand dryers, can we have them outside? Can we have them somewhere else? Or that one is just hard because it's already installed on so many levels all over the places, because we don't want to use hand towels and paper towels, which I get. It's all about the energy and the effectively of the world. But that one I don't have an answer for, and I'm open to any suggestions, and anyone that's a big engineering person, that's probably where they go. I can save your life, honey. I'm still a nurse. Remember that. I'm an ER nurse. I'm an ER nurse by trade. If you're dying somewhere, I can save your life. But it's just like the littlest things. I think it's just be understanding that please keep the handicapped bathroom stalls open, because you don't know which child is autistic or not. Those are different things I tell people. I understand they're bigger, but be cautious about that. If you see somebody that's come in or that you made comes up, I'm telling you now, I am not offended when someone's, hey, does your child need to go? I'm gonna be like, yep, can I go first? Now I am bold. I'm just like, can I go use the bathroom? And I was like, why? I'm like, because you don't want him in here any more than you need him to be out. I promise you. So it's just, I think it's just more of those awareness. It's just like when, I'm gonna say this publicly, when people misuse handicap placards. Use a handicap placard when you need the handicap placard, not because your grandma had it and you want the car to be closer to the parking lot. Yep, said that out loud. So I think it's just more of the awareness and going back to that empathetic world where it's help somebody out instead of just walking away. Ask, how can I support you? Versus just, and this has happened to me personally, versus, can you get control of your child?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm gonna be down that rabbit hole. But so does that help answer your question, Debbie? Okay. But I do want to respect your guys' time. I want to appreciate every single one of you for being here, and for everyone that's listening somewhere on this world or wherever streaming I'm on. Anna, he's probably on my Facebook, or I don't know where she is. My assistant's on the call right now. So I'm sure she's taking care of the social media aspect of things for me at the moment. But thank you. Thank you. And yes, Cecilia, let's connect. Message me. We'll make sure to get it after my TEDx.
Yes.
We'll come.
Okay. Awesome.
Thank you guys. Hopefully this resonated, and hopefully this is something you guys can bring into any facility or any place, or just bring up the topic about it. That's all I ask for.
Yes.
Thank you. I have friends on the school board. I'm gonna be bringing this to her too. So I think this is great. You're always, I love listening to everything you say. So thank you.
Thank you. This is a good energy booster for me because now I feel way more better, ready for
Yes. You
you
got
got
it. Yes, you got it.
Yeah, you did great.
Yeah, next time I don't have cards though, so we'll see. Thank you guys.
You're welcome. Thank you for
All right.
inviting.
Yes. Have a good night.
Bye.
You're gonna nail it, Bina.
Thank you, Bina.
Thank you.
Yeah, you will.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks. Bye.
Go for the door.